Punishing your cat for mistakes not to make. To live in harmony with your pet, it is essential to go through the education process, even if it is a cat, an animal known for remaining a little wild, and this is true regardless of its age. There is always the temptation to eat the fish waste left on the plate or to play with the strip of toilet paper waving in the breeze. You will therefore inevitably be confronted with incidents of varying degrees of severity. But even if you are convinced that you must react, you do not necessarily know how. Here are the 4 main mistakes you should not make when punishing your cat. Mistake 1: hitting your cat. It's not anthropomorphism to say that you shouldn't inflict physical violence on an animal that you wouldn't tolerate yourself. A cat exposed to beatings, whatever the cause, is a traumatized cat. As humans, we make the connection between the cat's misdeed and the beating we inflict on it. It is a punishment, the negative consequence of a forbidden act that has been committed. For the animal, it's more complicated. The impact of physical violence prevents it from making the connection with anything. It only remembers the violence and develops distrust of the person who did it to it. This won't even stop him from doing it again, and the relationship with you becomes more distant. Hitting your cat is absolutely counterproductive. The little pat on the nose is still too often seen as a punishment on many websites. It is important to realize that by doing this, you are not educating your cat, you are only hurting it. The effectiveness of tackling the kitten to the ground to punish it and make it understand that it must not do the same thing again is another common misconception that has a long life. Why is this? Because it is presented in a way that only makes sense on the surface. You are usually told that it is a behavior adopted by the kitten's mother when the kitten has behaved inappropriately, for example by hurting her mother or one of her siblings. She tackles her kitten to the ground and bites it. This is done in an instinctive and controlled way. And if the mother does it, there is no harm in reproducing her behavior, is there? There are 2 arguments against this. The first is that what the cat accepts from its mother, it does not accept from another cat. So why would it accept it from a human, even if it is its master? The second argument is that you are not a mother cat. This means that you don't know how to proportion your action to match the proportions of the mother. You may experience a similar gesture from your cat. While you are playing, she places her paw on your wrist to press her arm down, or on your ankle with the same downward movement, while biting you. He repeats his mother's gesture to let you know that he has played with you enough and that it is time to stop. Mistake 2: yelling at your cat. You should not lose sight of the fact that your beloved feline, however domesticated he may be, has retained his hunting skills and instincts. His hearing is more sensitive than ours, as it is vital for him to perceive all sorts of sounds in order to spot his prey. Of course, it is able to filter, but its hearing remains highly developed. Even when it is sleeping, its attention is always on the alert. You can understand that sudden and loud noises have a tenfold effect on cats. That's why they usually hate loud music, noise, and high-pitched sounds from electrical appliances such as televisions, which we don't even notice. Also, screams from you are perceived as signs of aggression, just like physical violence. Mistake 3: waiting too long to punish your cat. To correct your cat effectively, it must be caught in the act. Animals are not without a memory, but behavior that is deemed problematic because of a need to be satisfied will certainly not be associated with a ban if your reaction comes late, disconnected from the act itself. If you see him or her tearing the curtains or peeing on the carpet, you should react in the moment. If you are not present, you just have to wait for the next time and watch for it. For the animal to integrate the ban, it must simply be prevented from committing the ban. At the moment, you must interrupt him by diverting his attention, by clapping your hands for example. Then you follow up with a firm no in a tone of displeasure, or a pschhhh that will ring unpleasantly in his ears. The effect will usually be immediate. If not, you take him firmly and put him away, saying no again. Any reaction that is disconnected from the realization of the nonsense will only be perceived as aggression. Inappropriate reactions will only reinforce the behavioral problems that we consider to be nonsense in the cat. Even if the cat turns away at the first reaction from you, there is no guarantee that it will not do it again. Training a pet is a patient process, and you will have to say the wrong thing several times before the cat finally understands it. Mistake 4: overinterpreting the meaning of stupidity. Our human brains weave relationships between events in a way that is unique to us and completely foreign to cats. We are able to explain their behavior by evoking a feeling of revenge or jealousy, to make sense of what we see, when this is rarely the case. More often than not, the cat is simply suffering in some way: stress, boredom, and its nature means that it can only express this through its behavior. The cause of bad behavior may be that his environment does not meet his needs. If there is no tree to scratch, then where can the animal claw? Cats exhibit many behaviors that are natural and instinctive to them, but which we find troublesome. Problems regularly arise because living with them requires accepting the animal in its uniqueness. This certainly does not mean that you have to accept anything from your cat. The best attitude you can adopt is to understand your cat's inner nature and identify the elements that characterize its personality. From there, you will be able to pinpoint the source of your cat's behavioral problems, and therefore provide a concrete and effective solution.